Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we have a review of Zack Fair from Final Fantasy VII, made by Bringarts. And this is figure number 18 in the series. We're getting towards the end. In fact, there's one more figure that's been announced. That's Cloud with the Hard Edge, figure number 19. And then as far as I know, that's it. No more Bringarts figures, at least right now. But, you know, these are, if you haven't watched my other reviews, these are based off the Nomura artwork from the original Final Fantasy VII game. This isn't based off the new game. So there's only so many figures that I think that he drew. I don't know if he drew some of the other characters, but anyway, here's Zack. Zack is very popular. A lot of people like Zack Fair. You know, he's got a pretty good story arc, and they've changed it somewhat in Rebirth and Remake. To some people's chagrin, to some people liking that Zack's got a bigger role. I'm okay with what they did in Rebirth, for the most part, right? For the most part. Multiverse, a little played out now, but I think when they were making this game, the multiverse was a big deal for everybody in pop culture. So anyways, I'm rambling, but I'm excited because we have Zack. Now here is the question probably everyone wants to know, and I think it's going to be a bad answer, but is this Zack Fair body the same body as this Mr. Cloud Strife and his wonky left leg that falls off by barely touching it? Is this the exact same mold? It sure as heck looks like it is to me. We will find out, but as you look here, it looks like it's the same mold. I think Zack should be taller and Zack should be a little bit beefier than Cloud. So when I get this guy out, we will do a comparison. We'll compare the Buster Swords too. I have a feeling that Bringarts is going to go the cheap route, and they're going to give us the exact same sword and the exact same body, except for the gloves and the hair and the face, right? Hoping I'm wrong, but regardless, this does look fantastic. I always love Zack's hair, and I think that might be, this is going to be Soldier First Class because he has the Buster Sword. I have the pack Soldier First Class and Second Class, and I prefer the Second Class look personally. But anyway, here we go. Rambling, excited. Let's get into this. Final Fantasy VII, Bringarts, number 18, Zack Fair, for ages 15 and up. Choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years. There's your warning. And as you can see here, character design, Tetsuya Nomura. So he's the mastermind behind all the creation of these characters, the design, the look of them. And here is the official Square Enix logo, Bringarts logo. This is not a knockoff. I bought it direct from Japan. There's the side of the box, and then here's the back. And kind of a cool moment. It looks like he is much taller than Cloud, so that's a good sign. I'm not sure if they made his body longer or his legs longer, because the legs on Cloud are super long. That's how Nomura drew him in that concept art. But as you can see, we got some cool poses. The folding arms, I'm very suspect of this because in my time articulating figures, they find ways to pull arms out of sockets without showing you, or they CG it or something. There's no arms here to fold. So we'll try that pose. We will try that. And if he can strike that pose, I will be amazed. But I'm going to probably keep him something simple like this with Cloud. But yeah, there's some legalese. There's a UPC. Let's get this guy unboxed and take a closer look. All right, I can't help but contain myself before we get into the figure. Look at this. Bringarts included the folded arms. That is not in this picture, unless I'm flipping blind. And I'm not. It is not in that picture. So good on them for giving this. Now I might use this as a pose. Oh man, I don't know what to do. And I'm happy to report, now I haven't articulated him yet, but he is definitely bigger than Zack. This is not the same legs. These are beefier legs. I'm not saying they fixed the problem with the joint in the left leg. They probably haven't. We will see. But it looks like, we'll do a better comparison in a minute. But his legs are definitely bigger. He's definitely taller, as you can see, which he should be. So I'm so happy they didn't go the super cheap route, considering how expensive these figures are. Now, as I've showed in a few videos, these figures come with wrapping. It's just to protect the joints and the paint and shipping. So if you get some humid days and stuff, you know, joints don't stick to each other, paint doesn't rub off. So I'm going to pull all this stuff off. You can be real careful with it. Sometimes the arms will pop off. It's okay. They're ball joints. It's not a big deal. As you can see, I'm just pulling this off. You can take the figure apart if you want. I don't really like to do that unless the joints pop off. Let's just pop the head off, and we'll do that one. That wasn't too much. That was pretty easy. You can see here it's a ball joint. All right, let me get this guy laid out. We'll take a closer look. All right, and all these bringarts figures come with directions. Very simple. The hands are plug and play, and I'm happy to report Zack has 10 hands. I think that's the new record for this bringarts line. I think Sung had 7, if I remember. But he has 10 hands, the sword, the folded arms. I think bringarts is slowly understanding and hearing us that you're charging way too much money for these figures and not giving us enough accessories. I think they're trying to rectify that. It's kind of too late, too little, too late now. We're at the end of the line, but I'm happy that he has a little bit more than I expected. It shows you how to pull the arms off, to put the folded arms in place. We'll do that. And then the sword, typically you got to pull the tip off. I think you pull the tip off the sword. Nope, not in this case. It shows you the different hands. You have hands that are on an angle for holding it down, and then hands that hold it up and down. And then there's a little plug you put in to put the sword in the back if you want to do that. And then here's the stand, the generic stand with all of them. Get the same stand. Legalese. All right, let's get into this. Here is Zack Fair, Mr. Fair, and everything that he comes with. And I'm excited. It's more than I expected. I expected 4 hands, a sword, and that's it. We got more, which is good. I'm happy. So here's the stand. It's very generic. I'm not going to go use it, but it comes with 2 different waist clamps. The stand has all these plugs. You can put the rod in the stand. You can get some flight poses, or just if you want to use it around his waist so he doesn't fall when he's in your shelf. And then there is the folded arms. Super cool they included that. I am so happy. There's the plug that goes into his back for the Buster sword. Is there materia in this sword? Probably not. Nope. No materia. They could at least give you 1 materia. I hate that PlayArts Kai and bringarts don't give you materia. Hardly at all. Hardly at all. We need some materia packs or weapon packs with materia that can interchange Square Enix. And then there's his hands. He has some open, really open palm hands. He has some slightly open hands. And then over here are his hands for holding the sword, either straight, 90 degrees, or kind of at an angle, like a 45. And then he comes with 2 fists. So let's take a look at Mr. Fair. Looks really cool. I'm zoomed in pretty close. The hair is black. I think there's a hint of blue in it. I think there's a hint of blue, which I absolutely love. It's not just black. Whereas the shoulder pauldrons, as you can see, pauldrons, or whatever they're called, they're like a light black, maybe a little metallic paint in them. It's hard to tell, but they look good. They look good. This is not the same chest as Cloud either. I think the only reused parts is this this part in the middle here, the abdomen and the groin area. I think the rest is all new. The boots are, I think, a bit bigger than Cloud's as well. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm off camera. I'm looking at Cloud off camera as I tell you guys this stuff. But overall, it looks pretty good. Let me back out. We're just going to go over articulation real quick. Head's on a ball joint, as I showed you guys. He can look forward pretty good. The neck does move as well. And then he can actually look up pretty good despite his hair. There is a hinge joint in the hair. I love when they do that. That is brilliant. That allows you, well, there's hair strands here catching his shoulders, but that allows you to make him look up more. If his hair was down, you would not get any motion. But because it has that hinge joint, and you can also make him look like he's flying fast through the air, which is super cool. His hair is so awesome, man. What a cool dude Zack Fair is. These shoulder pauldrons are on hinge joints, as you can see right there. They kind of move up and down. They move in and out. They move in and out on this spacer piece. So you can get them to go up. And that lets you get the shoulders up to go 90, just about 90. Yes, just about 90. Biceps swivel. Double jointed elbows. It's a single elbow. It's that little ball joint they use. And it doesn't look bad on this figure. On Sephiroth and some of the Turks, this thing is huge. It just looks it looks bad. But on this figure, it doesn't look too bad. And there's the elbow joint. Not too shabby. Upper torso, ball joint. Swivel waist. No, it's also a ball joint as well, I believe. No, it's a swivel waist, I think. Okay, here we go. Left leg. Are you guys ready for this? Moment of truth. Is it going to stay on? It stayed on. It stayed on. The leg stayed on. I can't believe it. At least for right now, it stayed on. Thigh swivel. I should not be as excited for a leg to stay on. Bringarts. I shouldn't be excited about that at all. That should be normal, standard operating procedures. There's his knee. Not the most pretty knee. You know, they could do a better. From the side, it looks cool. You know, again, these are stylized. They're based off Numera's art, so there's only so much they can do, I think. Man, that leg is not popped off, and now the rubbery panty is stuck. There we go. Loincloth was stuck there. Whatever this is called, I don't know. And then the boots are on ball joints and toe articulation, which is, oh, there we go. It was really tight. Let's see here. If I can get this one. Oh man, that one there we got them. They were tight, very tight, which is good. And then there's some treads on the boots. Man, why couldn't Bringarts bring this better quality in the beginning of the line with the figures I really, really like? Not that I don't like Zack, but he's not my favorite figure, favorite character. He's becoming one of my favorite Bringarts figures, I'll tell you that much. All right, man, let's do a close-up on his face. And check out those blue soldier eyes. Earring. Oh, he's got the scar. And he has the scar, folks. Look at that. And it's done right. That scar is done right. If you know, you know. I'm not going to spoil anything. But yeah, pretty cool. Mr. Zack Fair, everybody. Man, he looks cool. You know, and I'll get into it in a little bit. The pricing on these figures is too much. But man, I am so glad I have them. I really am. Now we got a problem here with this joint. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. You just got to play with these. These figures require a lot of futzing. If you don't like the futz with your figures, when I say futz, I mean you got to really articulate, spend time with them. You got to be careful to some degree. If you like that type of work with your figures, you're going to love these. If you're annoyed by stuff like that, you might strike a pose and just give them that pose and never touch them again. Let them collect dust, so to speak. All right. Let me now, let's go ahead and strike a few poses before I have him cross his arms. Okay, so I'm trying to strike this pose right here. I'm pretty close. It's not perfect, but here it is. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get that arm back in that pose, and the sword's so heavy. But I think if you play with it enough, you could get that pose. Not the pose I'm going to use, but you can get some dynamic poses with this guy. Okay, there's a pose out there where Zack kind of leans on his sword after a battle. He's not looking too hot. I don't think this is exactly it. I can't remember it from memory, but it's something like this. But I feel like he's got his arm up. Like, how does he have his arm? It's something like it's on the sword. He's resting his head or something like that. But it's a very somber look. I think you see it in Rebirth, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you can give him some sort of like depressing pose like this if you want. Okay, you can do something dynamic like this with the flight stand and get him up like he's coming over the top of his head, jumping down to crush somebody. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Again, I'm not going to use the stands for these figures, at least initially. Maybe through the years I'll, repose them and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You can get this guy in some pretty cool looking poses. Okay, and real quick, the top sword came with Cloud. The bottom sword came with Zack. You be the judge if they're any different. It looks like the handles are a different color. This is a little bit darker wood than that. I say wood, it's plastic, but if I flip them over like this, let me spin them around. Okay, sorry. Zack's sword is on top, or I'm sorry, Cloud's sword's on top. Zack's sword is on the bottom. I think they're the exact same length. They have the exact same battle damage. Yeah, apart from the handles being a different color. And I don't know if that is lore accurate or not, or just they had a new paint run in the factory. These swords are exactly the same. I wish Zack's wasn't as beat up. because he had it first. It shouldn't be as beat up as when Cloud had it, in my opinion. Okay, and this little plug right here comes out of his back, and that allows you to put in this other plug for the sword. Now, I think it does matter how you put it in. If you put it in the wrong way, it's going to be messed up. So let's see, and then you place the sword into that, and that lets him hold the sword. You can go lower with it if you want. I prefer it higher so you can see the handle better and the blade doesn't touch the ground. Now, I probably should have done this first, but we are going to take these arms off. Let me take the sword back off. The arms pull off at the elbows. As you can see there, they pull off. And then, I'm going to try doing this on camera. Probably a bad idea, but here we go. We are going to, wait a minute. Okay, something's off here. That's not going to connect. Let me figure this out. Okay, you had to pull the bicep off, not the forearm. As you can see, the bicep has to come off. So now, this might be easier than Sung. Sung was difficult to try and get connected, his hands behind his back. But if we try and get this, oi, this is definitely not easy with these shoulder pads. Yeah, this is definitely not easy. Trying to get, there we go. Yeah, I guess it wasn't too bad. Let me bring that up over his shoulder. Lay him down. Man, that is awesome. Let's put the sword on the back. The whole peg came off. Check it out. Yeah, that's all sorts of Zack Fair attitude right there. Oh man, that's cool. I'm happy. I'm so glad they came with the arms. Check it out. The paint job on the hand is there's a little bit of a bleed right there. It's like the airbrush. It didn't get that part of the glove. But man, overall, it looks pretty good. They did a good job between the fingers there, getting the flesh tone. He's got a fist made. Yeah, this is absolutely how I'm going to pose Zack. Right here. This is it. Now, let's do a couple comparisons. All right, here is Cloud Strife next to Zack Fair, and I think these two dudes look awesome together. Cloud comes in at 5 3/4 inches up to his chocobo hair, to the tip, and Zack comes in to the top of his hair at exactly 6 inches. So Zack is 6 inches tall, a true 1/12 scale figure. Assuming he's like 6 feet, which I'm not sure how tall Zack is. Anyways, I'm rambling. I get excited. I'm just happy that they're not the same parts reused. His leg did pop off once. When I was articulating for a pose, it popped off once. It wasn't like Cloud's though, where it's like you barely hold the figure and the leg falls off, right? It wasn't like that. It's a better connection. Not saying it won't do that more in the future. If you have Cloud and you're wondering, should I get Zack? Like I was worried about this leg. When I did this review, I'd have to watch it again, but that leg fell off like 6-7 times. It was ridiculous. This one's fallen off once in an 18-minute review so far. So that might tell you there. The QC has gotten better with these bringarts figures. I think Square Enix has listened and they've done a better job with the later runs. Unfortunately, ones like Cloud, which is probably everyone's favorite, he's got QC issues. Sephiroth has got QC issues. And that's not acceptable for the price point of these figures. So let's do one more pose real quick with Cloud and Zack. All right, that's a cool pose. One that's kind of from the back of the box a little bit. But yeah, that looks really cool. And I just noticed too, the articulation's different with Zack. He has bicep swivel. Cloud does not have a bicep swivel. So I don't know if they did that because you take the arms off, but more of these newer figures have bicep swivel, whereas Cloud, who is like I think the first figure in the run, as you can see, his joints are completely different. Man, they've gotten better as they've gone along. So let's talk about at the end of the day, if this figure is worth it. Because if you watch my other reviews, and I've reviewed every single one of these figures, I don't have the Hardy Daytona yet, it's coming. But up until now, not talking about vehicles, these figures are all overpriced. I'm just going to come out and say it. I've said it in every review. They're overpriced. And unless you're a huge, massive FF7 fan or a Numara art fan, they're not worth it. And I'm open with my reviews. I'm not going to lie to you. You might say, well, why did you buy it then? I bought it because I'm a huge FF7 fan, and I got sucked in, and here we go. Like, there's other figures I'm not buying, like Mafex. They've blown up in price. I'll get a couple here and there, but I wanted to complete this run, and as of right now, I have. So let's talk about pricing. This figure, if in North America you go to Big Bad Toy Store or Square Enix North, he costs $119 plus shipping. I got mine from Mecha Japan. I got him, Sung, and Elena together in one run, one ship, and he was $95. And the shipping ended up being like $10 per figure, so about $30 total. So pretty much, I got him for $105 straight out of Japan. Now, as of the recording of this video, Mecha Japan still has him. He's a little bit cheaper. He's $93. And Plaza Japan, who I normally order from, didn't have Zack when I pre-ordered him. He was already sold out. They have him in as of right now. This is end of August, August 22nd, 2025. I'm recording this. And they have him at Plaza Japan for $86. So what I'm saying is, if you order these direct from Japan, you're going to, even though you spend a bit more in shipping somewhat, you're saving money per figure. We're talking like 10, 15, 20 bucks you're saving per figure. And $120 a pop, if you get 4, 5, 6, 7 of these, 8 of these, 10 of these, you've got yourself a new figure there for free, right? Because you've saved money. I love BBTS. I order a lot of stuff from them. Their $4 shipping's amazing. But in this day and age, in this economy, and I collect figures, I review figures, I need to penny pinch where I can and make tough choices with other stuff I just don't want to get because of the cost. So that's my take on this, on Toy Economy 101 here in 2025. Do we want to see more figures? I say yes, because I'm absolutely loving these. They're getting better in quality. And man, there's so many characters they could make. But I know this is based off of Numera artwork. I'm sure there's artwork hanging around there for like Dio, Bugenhagen, Corneo, Scarlet. I would love to see them make those figures. Hojo, Biggs, Wedge, Jesse. Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. We have a couple of those in pack form. Jesse at least. Yeah, we need to get more of the Shinra people. We need Scarlet. We need Palmer, Heidegger. Oh man. They could make this line go deep. Also, what they could do is now do the bringarts form in FF7 Remake and Rebirth. And then, holy crap, we're collecting them all over again based off of those. But I think that's what the pack route is for, Player at Sky. That's more of like a 1/10 scale, 1/9 scale maybe? I'm not sure. 1/8 scale. But again, I'm rambling, but I'm just trying to help you guys make an informed decision about these figures, because it's not cheap, and life is difficult for a lot of people now with the economy the way it is. So, yeah, that's what I do. I get mine from Plaza Japan. I will say now my Hardy Daytona is coming from BBTS. I missed that pre-order and it was sold out, and so I bit the bullet, and I'm getting that from BBTS. I won't be saving money on that, but when that comes, that'll be the last of it for me for bringarts. I didn't get the Cloud plus the Hardy Daytona. I already have a Cloud. I'm getting the Cloud with the hard edge. That one can ride the Hardy Daytona. So I'll be missing one out of this entire set. The Cloud plus Hardy Daytona combo. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Give me a like, comment, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm not making money off this. I just enjoy doing this and getting your guys' feedback. I love to talk about toys, and if you're into collecting or like these figures, it's fun to talk about it. So let me know what you guys think. So until next time, this has been Bringarts Final Fantasy VII Zack Fair. Thanks for watching.